But right now, I am joined by New York Times bestselling author and iconic political strategist, Roger Stone. Roger, welcome back to New Jersey 101.5.
Bill, great to be here.
So, Roger, I had to check in with you this morning. Donald Trump had a huge night last night, and I wanted to get your take on what the next step is. Do you think he's got a path now to a first ballot majority? Do you expect that every battle from here on out through the convention is going to mean something?
He clearly has a path, but it's also clear that while he will continue to benefit from split opposition, this isn't a two-man race, it's a three-person race.
Right.
They're going to continue to chip away at the margins. I think in some of the big states going forward, specifically New Jersey, California, Pennsylvania, these are some of his strongest states. He is more than likely to sweep in those, and therefore his opponents now can only tinker at the margins and try to chip away in the small states. I think that the opposition is going through all five stages of grief. You know, they're now past the denial and anger stage. They're heading for bargaining. That's where maybe they try to get Kasich on as vice president, and then they'll move to depression, then final acceptance. Trump is going to be the nominee of the Republican Party, and the prospects for cheating him out of it at a brokered convention grow smaller and smaller.
Let me ask you this. What factor is Kasich going forward? I mean, it is unlikely he wins any other state, just looking at the polls now.
Not only is it unlikely, but by my calculations, you have to win 100% of the delegates up for grabs going forward in order to catch Trump, and that's just
not going to
mathematically and politically impossible. Perhaps he is out there as a vice presidential candidate.
What is your take on Ted Cruz? I mean, I've said this before that if it weren't for Donald Trump in the race, Ted Cruz would be getting all the ire from the Republican establishment. They would hate him just as much as they hate Donald Trump for different reasons, because he's an ideologue, because he's conservative, and they would say he's unelectable. Is Cruz a huge factor? Can he keep pace with Donald going forward?
Well, he went 0-5 last night. He won nothing. I don't know. He's got to continue to win somewhere. He's had a few small victories, but look, I predict right now that the Republican establishment will actually swing behind Cruz as the last stage of their Stop Trump operation. And before it's over, Jeb Bush himself, who, by the way, Rush Limbaugh said yesterday could still emerge from a brokered convention, Jeb Bush himself will be endorsing Ted Cruz.
Isn't that amazing?
Hard to believe unless you know the real background of
it. It's shocking if you only look at the headlines, but if you read your book, Jeb and the Bush crime family, it sheds some light. And the book is fascinating with some of the historical references you use. Your other book, though, about Hillary and Clinton and the war on women, how's that doing? I got to believe you're getting a lot of traction on that book right now.
It's doing really, really well because this is the playbook for Donald Trump's election. This is the oppo dump you need to defeat her. If Bernie Sanders had read my book, like, by the way, his brother who called Clinton a rapist did read my book because I sent it to him. If Bernie Sanders would read my book, he might have some chance of beating her. Unfortunately, he just keeps harping about Wall Street.
Yeah.
As opposed to pointing out her war on women, her tenure as Secretary of State, and the disastrous $2 billion fraud that is the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah. Well, Roger, I always appreciate your insight. We're going to be talking to you later. We'll be Skyping at noon, and we'll see you on Chasing News tonight. And it's always good to get your perspective the day after. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
Always great to be in the Garden State. Many thanks.
All right, Roger. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you soon.